Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I can't thank you enough for being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. You know, I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and I look at the clock because it's like, oh, it's not time to get up yet. Because I'm excited about, one, just waking up. You know, when you get to be 56 years old, you're excited that you're still alive, that you're there to see another day, because sadly, it's not the case. I've seen so many of my rap icons that have just passed away, you know, from the Kango Kid to rapper Jal Lil, Biz Markie. Biz Markie. Sorry, not Biz Markie. I'm sorry. God. Prince Markie D, Shock G, in the past year, and they're all right around my age. So when you're my age, you look at the clock and say, I'm still here, so I'm thankful. But I'm excited because this is a great time right now to be a Dallas Cowboy fan. I know Cowboy fans are doom and gloom because of all the crap you hear from the talking heads. The Cowboys, you know, they'll lose in the first round. Used to be, they won't make the playoffs. The Cowboys, they just suck. Mike McCarthy, you know, you've been beat down so much that you don't believe that you're seeing something good. But we're 10-4. You think about last year, I can't remember. Do we actually have a game in January? We have 2 regular season games, and provided we win at least one more game, it's all it takes to win our division. If we can continue winning and hold serve with Green Bay, we at least will have the number 2 seed. If Green Bay loses one and we continue to win, we could have the number 1 seed in the NFL. It's been a great season. We got 5 players in the Pro Bowl after last year's goose egg. We have 2 on defense off of a defense that was 29th. Didn't see that coming, did you? Diggs, 1 interception away from tying the Dallas Cowboys all-time interception record. Micah Parsons in the conversation of a 2-man race for Defensive Player of the Year, already having locked up the Rookie of the Year. Number 1 in pressures, number 1 in sacks, number 1 in tackles for rookies. He's a beast. We got him. Don't worry about paying him for another 4 years. He has become the Lion. And actually, there are whole Lions pride right now that are following his lead. Our offense, I know it's been a little bit down. People have been questioning Dak Prescott and things and how much money he makes. But I say, you know, stop having tunnel vision only on the Dallas Cowboys and look around the NFL. Look at Josh Allen, who got the bag of money too. You think Josh Allen is living up to his contract or expectations of him being perfect? No. Look at Tom Brady, who last week got shut out against New Orleans Saints, losing his 2nd time to the same team at home. At home. Oh, I know. He didn't have his weapons, so they'll make excuses for him, right? Everybody was hurt. We don't necessarily hear those from the Cowboys, for the Cowboys. But the Cowboys need to get back on track. 2 things we need to do. 2 things is, 1, we must get the running game back to where it used to be. Our smash mouth football, so to speak. We haven't been smash mouth since early in the season. Smash mouth, we need to be able to just impose our will on other teams. Connor Williams, he's actually getting into form right now. Had a great game last week. Tyler Baddish, 2nd-year player, he's doing pretty good. And it seems like Lyle Collins is getting into a groove maybe. Zach Martin, of course, is his usual Pro Bowl self. The key will be getting Tyron Smith back. Tyron Smith is the anchor. He is the face. He is the lead dog, the lion on the offensive line. If we can get him back and get him healthy, and Roscoe's agreeing with me, that will bode well. Because this time of year, I know the Cowboys' offense has been sputtering, as they say, but take a look around the NFL. Scoring is way down. The weather is getting frightful. Players are banged up. You've got an extra game. The best thing you can do to help your quarterback get on track, the best thing you can do late in the season is to be able to run the football. So we need Tyron Smith back, and we need Zeke Elliott healthy. Roscoe, hold on. Broke-ass media. Even the dog doesn't give me respect. You want to go out? Go on. Doug won't even give me respect here. You need that running game going. The second thing that we must do is we got to stop dropping the damn football. Everybody's been killing Dak Prescott and talking about Dak and saying Dak sucks and, you know, Dak is missing players and he's a garbage quarterback and things. But I want you to understand a couple of things. As much as people like to say everything is just the quarterback, okay? You know, if that's the case, then Tom Brady sucked because they scored no points against New Orleans. You're not taking, with Tom Brady, you take in consideration that Godwin is gone, Mike Evans got hurt, and Antonio Brown is out. You take and give him a consideration there. If you do that, then you also need to take into consideration things of Cowboys missing players and players dropped. Ceedee Lamb acknowledges, man, I got to do better. I can't have these drop balls. And it seems like since Dak Prescott, since he headbutted Dak, it seems like that connection has been off. But I want to point out, when you talk about Cowboys' problems in the red zone or Dak Prescott's numbers being down, I'm going to ask you if just these three plays would make a difference on Dak's QBR, his rating, scoring in the red zone, and so on. Because these were the drops that Ceedee had just this week. Now take a look. It's 2nd and 7. 2nd and 7. I can't guarantee you that we get the first down here. And the sun was probably in Ceedee's eyes, even though he wears a face shield. He gets that pass. I'm sure he gets at least 3 or 4 yards. And instead of it being 3rd and 7 down there, maybe it's a first down, maybe it's a touchdown, maybe it's short yardage and you can run. Here's another one of the drops. Okay? You're going to see the fake dive. Here's the thing that you love about, I've always said, I love having Dak Prescott roll out. Because let me point out, you see, you've run the fake dive. You've got all the offensive linemen blocking this way. You've got all the Giants and their flow going over here. You now put this cornerback on an island. Dak is going opposite of where everybody else is going. It's a naked bootleg. And what it gets is it gets you an advantage because everybody's trapped. And he's throwing the ball here to Ceedee, who's wide open. Wide open here on the 18-yard line. You see this, right? Wide open on the 18-yard line. You don't think that he's going to go in? He's got Amari Cooper, who's right there to take care of the only other guy that's between there and the end zone. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. Do you think if we get that touchdown off of that Dak Prescott's rating a little better? You got to catch that. And here we go. 2nd and 6 from our 41. Dak is back, throws the ball. Is Ceedee open? Is Ceedee open? He's got a guy 5 yards behind him, 6 yards ahead of him. $18-yard completion. It would have been an 18-yard completion. So as we point out that Dak is in a slump, We have to point out that Ceedee Lamb has the dropsies. We have to point out that Zeke Elliott is not beasting the way he was. We have to point out that Tyron Smith has been out in the anchor of the offensive line. And I'm not doing this because I want to sully Ceedee Lamb. I love Ceedee Lamb. Ceedee Lamb has won games for us with amazing catches. That catch last year where it was like the Matrix in slow motion, where he's literally turning his body horizontally and catching the pass, is amazing. Don't think that when I criticize a player, that's because I don't like him. I'm trying to point it out so that way you can be an educated football fan and understand what you're seeing beyond the microcosm of what you see where they focus in and they say Dak's numbers are terrible. Dak is in a slump. Dak sucks. Well, let's dig deeper than the superficial bullshit that they give you. Let's look at the whole problem all the way around. If Zeke Elliott gets a half a yard more per carry, that helps out the running game. It ends up making the game a little bit better. If Ceedee Lamb doesn't drop 3 passes in there, that makes it a little better. If Connor Williams or Tyler Baddish or Lyle Collins don't get a penalty or 2, holding or downfield or offsides, that instead of making it, 1st and 20, maybe it's 2nd and 5. All these things add up to problems that hurt the team. But you can't look and say it's just the quarterback. If we just change the quarterback, then we won't have drops by Ceedee Lamb. Is that the rationale? If we just change the quarterback, we won't have problems with Zeke Elliott running the football. Is that really going to have to change? If we just get rid of the quarterback, we won't have dumb penalties on the offensive linemen. None of those things are going to happen by changing the quarterback. So let's look at the whole picture instead of just looking at Dak missed a pass. Yeah, he does miss passes. He does miss passes. Everybody does. Everybody in the freaking NFL does. And as we've been doing in the morning, let's go ahead and check in with the talking heads. I really actually like Rich Eisen a lot. Rich Eisen is one of the old heads as far as the NFL Network and everything else. And, he's really more balanced than pretty much anybody else. So let's listen to what they have to say about the NFC and AFC playoff picture. Oh, and mind you, one of the things they point out here, that 10-4 is leading the AFC playoff picture. 10-4 is what the Cowboys are in the NFC, which is deemed the tougher conference.
That feel really good today, right now. Number one has to be the Kansas City Chiefs, who sat back and watched the entire craziness of Saturday and Sunday play out, and now they're going to watch the entire craziness of Monday and Tuesday play out, and they're already in the clubhouse. Yep. They're already in the clubhouse with a big-time win on the road in division, and then they just sat there and watched the Steelers beat the Tennessee Titans, and that was after the Colts beat the New England Patriots, and all of a sudden, who's the 1 seed in the American Football Conference after all this time, after going 1-2 and 2-3 and 3-4, and everybody wondering if the Chiefs are anything but a total disappointment this year. And Mahomes does this, and he used to do that, and the offensive line does this, and they used to do that, and the defense hasn't done anything. That was the way it was in the first 7 weeks of this season. Guess who's got the only 10-win record in the AFC right now? And guess who's number 1 atop the entire conference right now based on the way everything broke down? That's right, the Kansas City Chiefs. They got to feel really good about themselves. And now all of a sudden, you've got a change at the top of the AFC North. The Ravens were the number 1 seed a couple of...
Mind you, while we're looking at this, I hate to interrupt it, the Cowboys have beat 2 of those playoff teams, by the way. New England and the Chargers both. So when you talk about the Cowboys are garbage and they haven't played anybody, well, they beat 2 AFC playoff teams.
Weeks ago, and they've lost a couple in a row. They're now 8-6, and they are at the top of the sniffing it column right now. And the Colts, once upon a time 0-3, and once upon a time 1-4, they're 8-6 in front of the Chargers and the Bills, who are all 8-6, like the Bengals, who, because they've beaten the Ravens already once this year, and they do play again, they're in first place in the AFC North due to a dub in Denver this weekend. Let's see what Cleveland does this afternoon against the Raiders. It looks like it's going to be Big Nick Mullins, because even with that game postponed from Saturday to Monday, Baker Mayfield and Case Keenum, neither of them could test out and get off that COVID list. So it's Big Nick Mullins after all anyway. The Browns do get a handful of players back that couldn't have played on Saturday that will be able to play today. But hey, Raiders, it's now your time. You got to come up with this win. Must-win territory for the Las Vegas Raiders this afternoon. And the Browns, the door is open.
And
the door is open for them to win this division. Because, again, the Ravens are 8-6. They could match them right there. And the Bengals, the Browns have already beaten them. The Browns could sweep the Bengals and win this division, like I told you is the case when the Browns beat the Ravens a couple of weeks, just last week, and when the Browns beat the Bengals
how things changed
before that. And like I told you, when the Ravens initially beat the Browns, it's still out there. And the Steelers are sitting there at 7-6-1 because they're like the Undertaker every other week. They're down and out, and they get up. Like they did against the Tennessee Titans, who had a shot coming into this weekend to not only clinch the AFC South, but when that went away because the Colts won on Saturday night, they had a chance to be the 1 seed. All they had to do was beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Couldn't do it. Steelers are now off the mat again. Minka Fitzpatrick is joining us in a matter of moments.
Yeah.
Now then, the team that also has to feel really good. Let's look at the NFC. Green Bay Packers.
But
they held on for dear life in the bank yesterday. They fell down early. Then they got up late, big, and then the Ravens came back because Tyler Huntley can play football, folks.
Good news.
And John Harbaugh went for it again instead of kicking an extra point, and once again that 2-point conversion fell short. And so the Ravens fall to 8-6, and Green Bay falls to 11-3. And the way that Aaron Rodgers is playing,
Aaron's playing great. I'm not going to dispute
whatever's going on
that.
with his pinky toe is the foot version, the podiatristic version of Jordan's flu. All right, because he is playing lights out football, and everybody is following him.
True.
Everybody. Feels like they can make plays now. Valdez Scantling is making plays. And Aaron Jones makes plays. And A.J. Dillon makes plays. Obviously, Devontae Adams makes plays. His line's blocking for him. So when the defense that had been carrying the day with pick sixes in the Rasul Douglas era right now of the Packers defense, the offense picked him up and gave him a big enough lead for them to not blow, I guess is the word. And then Green Bay watched everybody behind them, with the exception of the Dallas Cowboys, because the Giants are the two words for it. And it really pains me to say this because I love the organization and I'm a New Yorker and I'm prideful about it. But they're hot garbage right now. Defensively, they are, playing their guts out. And offensively, it's just a total abomination. So, the Cowboys did what they had to do, which is win on the road. And
3 in a row.
They have an incredible defense, just a spectacular defense, just like maybe the greatest defense they've ever had type defense. That's
I'm not ready to go there yet.
They're good. They're balling out. But the rest of the other teams that are behind the Green Bay Packers, to use the longtime late-night commercial phrase, have fallen, and they can't get up. At least that's Arizona. That's 2 in a row now for Arizona. 1 seed. They were the 1 seed at this moment last week. The 1 seed going into their Monday night game against the Rams.
Unbelievable.
They were the 1 seed. They're now the 4 seed, having lost to the Rams and then followed it up with a loss to the Detroit Lions, who will not quit.
All right, we'll leave it right there. The thing, and don't get me wrong, the Packers should feel really good right now. But the thing that you have to worry about if you're the Packers is the last 4 games. I want you to understand. Minnesota, you ended up giving up 34 points to Minnesota and losing to Minnesota. Okay, that was 5 weeks ago, before the bye week. You gave up 28 points to the Rams. Now, the Rams are a great offense. So let's be clear on that. You won that game, but your defense still gave up 28. Where you really start after worrying is the Chicago Bears. How is it the Chicago Bears that don't have a quarterback scored 30 points? 30 points. Let me say it again, 30 points. The Baltimore Ravens, without Lamar Jackson, with Huntley, scored 30 points against you. Those aren't exactly what you want to have as far as defensive numbers. We're on the opposite end of the spectrum. Our defense is actually beginning to peak right now. And this would be the Achilles heel. Aaron Rodgers is playing great. I'm not going to say that he's not. But if you're the Packers, the fact that in the last 4 games you've given up 31 points a game, we understand what that was like when our defense was giving up points in bunches, like Oprah Winfrey. You get a touchdown, and you get a touchdown, and you get a touchdown. It's hard to win consistently and putting the pressure on your offense because you can't stop anybody. So, yes, Green Bay should feel great because they're the only team that's clinched a playoff berth right now in the NFC. They are the number 1 seed, but I don't look at them and say they're invincible. And with that being said, I'm so happy because we've gotten out almost all of the orders except for the ones that came in pretty much yesterday. The BAM Media shot glasses we got a notification that they're on the FedEx truck and will be delivered sometime today before the end of the day. And I actually have extra Joe Bardys and stuff done. And if you're still interested, when I had somebody on Instagram say, can you do an Eagle one? Yeah, I can do an Eagle one. I've done quite a few Eagle ones, as a matter of fact. I can do any team colors that you want. Email me at cowboysmark94@gmail because they are 25% off before Christmas. And I do have some that will be ready to go today because I got my ass up early yesterday, and the night before I busted a hump to try and get a whole lot of them together and started already pre-painting them. So I have them ready to go. So if you're interested, hit me up now. Again, they're 25% off before Christmas, so you want to at least save that money. And with that being said, I'm going to get up there and finish putting them together. I'm Mark Holmes, and, well, you know how we roll.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is